Sauce here. Have you ever thought about the little critters that live outside of our body?
Or maybe inside of our bodies, but they may not be the most peaceful.
And so I introduce to you Naegleria fowleri, the brain-eating amoeba. And fowleri usually lives in bodies of water, such as rivers or lakes. Let's imagine a group of friends went on a road trip together, and they go to the nearby lake. One of the friends decides to go in, take a swim, but water goes up his nose. Well, what happens then? Let's demonstrate with our hand right here. So our amoeba is going to be in its amoeboid trophozoid form, meaning that it can actually swim up the nose and reach the olfactory bulb. In the olfactory bulb, there's nerves partaking in cell signaling, and part of that cell signaling includes the release of neurotransmitters, such as acetylcholine. Well, why does that matter? That would be because N. fowleri here actually has acetylcholine receptors called L8-HIA6. And what that means is that the acetylcholine is going to want to bind to the amoeba. And this binding results in a change within the amoeba. It causes an increase in the feeding, the proliferation, and the attacking mechanisms of the amoeba. And the amoeba really likes this, so it's going to want to swim up the increasing concentration of acetylcholine. Once our amoeba reaches the frontal cortex of the brain, it's actually going to start to eat the neurons because it's hungry from the swim up. And it does this by forming food cups and reaching out its pseudopodia in a directed motion. This is caused by cell surface receptors that actually detect the chemical signals that are sent by the nearby prey, in this case, our neurons. And so, the amoeba not only starts to form a food cup, it also releases some digestive enzymes that break our neurons into pieces. And as a result, that makes it easier for the amoeba to eat our neurons. Not only that, but because of all this acetylcholine, now we have the amoeba being able to form not just one food cup, but up to a dozen. And with a lot of amoebas attacking the brain, this is definitely going to cause a huge issue. So our immune system's obviously going to want to fight back against these parasitic amoebas that are trying to eat away at our neurons. However, the amoeba itself can actually survive against the white blood cell's defense mechanisms, which include raising the temperature of the body in a fever and causing inflammation and swelling. The amoeba is thermophilic, right? Meaning that it loves living in heat environments and thrives because of the heat. So as a result, this amoeba can actually fight back at full strength, neutralize the white blood cells, break them, and eat them too. And because of our immune system's response, we're going to have an increasing consistent fever, as well as a lot of swelling and inflammation, which is going to create a lot of pressure inside of our brain. And eventually that pressure and heat is going to cause the brainstem to crash in on itself. And this is actually what results in death. Our immune system ends up hurting us rather than hurting the amoebas. Thank you so much for listening. This is Hanan Aro from the University of Houston at the Honors College.